Hi, everyone. It's Hunter Lott, your HR problem solver on demand. And this is take 5 from our series, Please Sue Me. This week, I thought we'd take a look at numbers coming from the Department of Labor, the Wage and Hour Division. I've talked about EEOC and their numbers, and how my belief is that our liability is limited there just because of those numbers. But I also tell people, hey, you're much more likely to get sued or involved in some kind of legal action revolving around this whole issue of compensation, wage and hour, pay equity, transparency, than anything on the discrimination side. And you can see the headlines here: 1.9 million for child labor. That was a case that took a long time to settle. A tech company mishandled overtime for employees, $319,000. When you look at the numbers, and these numbers from the Wage and Hour Division, Department of Labor, about 190,000 workers helped. Now, the perspective, EEOC took 60,000 charges. They dropped 80% of them. And I know 190,000 in relationship to 130 million employees is not that big a deal, but the consequences, 230 million in back wages. The scariest number, I think, and you continue to see this, 70% of all employers are still out of compliance. I get all kinds of questions on this topic. And when I look at handbooks, some of the language and how we treat exempt and non-exempt the same, just asking for trouble. Stakes are high. Here's California that added grand theft wage this year, and up to 3 years. I haven't seen anybody go to jail yet from this. Some jurisdictions have this, and when you look at the cases where they've been threatened to a jail or on probation, the employer refused to pay overtime, refused to pay minimum wage, paid everyone under the table. So you have to work at it. But the consequences are very personal. As one attorney said to me, this goes around the veil of incorporation. So what lessons have we learned? Don't treat exempt like non-exempt. You treat exempt like non-exempt, you run the risk of losing the exemption. And then go back, depending, again, jurisdiction where it is, 2 years, 3 years, double the damages for all current and former employees. Hey, have IT run an audit of all your non-exempt employees. See those hours that they're working beyond the normal. They're coming in early, staying late, weekends, that are on the server. Does that match with their time cards? I'm not going to work people for free. No makeup time for salaried exempt. I see that in handbooks all the time. There is no such thing. Salaried exempt people get paid a weekly salary regardless of quantity or quality of work. Few exceptions, but no makeup time. No paid holiday waiting period for salaried exempt. Partial docking of exempt employees. You go to the dentist for an hour, I'm going to dock your pay. You're asking for a wage and hour claim. Well, when did all this change? 1938. This stuff isn't new. Another lesson learned: pay attention to your attorney, pay attention to HR, payroll. They're not making this stuff up. Make sure you dot the I, cross the T's on time cards, on pay records. This is a responsibility of all of us in leadership, from the frontline supervisor on up. Best resource, go straight to the source, DOL.gov. They've got all kinds of information on the website. That's what's dramatically changed since 1938, is access to information. Thanks for joining us this week. I'd be happy to take a look at your handbook. Go to hunterlott.com and you can submit it. If you've got a particular area you want me to talk about, just email me directly at hr@hunterlott.com. Happy to hear from all of you. Thanks for spending time with me this week. We'll see you next time on Take 5.